Do not attempt to adjust your podcast player. We are controlling the transmission. We are here to be your guide, helping you to explore local events, the art scene, music, theater, and possibly a conspiracy or two. All here on GCRX Radio and Podcast Network.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to In the Metro. I am your host, Chuck Hill. We are coming to you live from Studio B in downtown Granite City. And joining us tonight, as always, is the ever-present Miss Kim Pearson, Miss Rebecca Sunshine, and we've got Engineer Bill in the house as well.
Hello, hello.
Hello, everybody. How you doing tonight?
All right. Got through the Christmas parade and all the kickoff is just nothing but parties on out, right?
The holiday season is officially upon us. So it almost seems like August, you know.
People have been talking about summer already, though. What did you do over the weekend for the holiday spirit?
Well, I actually had a pretty busy weekend, especially Saturday. So every year I go out to St. Charles Christian Church in Newtown. Have you ever been to Newtown, either of you guys?
Yep.
Have you been to Newtown?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. It's so cool. So cool. Love that little town out there. But anyway, I go out there and we do the family portraits for the holidays. They have breakfast with Santa there. And so I just show up as kind of an additional offering for them. And, I set my backdrop up, set my camera gear up, and, just kind of do pictures. And so I did that Saturday morning. Saturday afternoon, we came down here, got here way early for the parade. But, I thought, I wanted to get a decent spot and everything. And
where did you set up at?
Where did we set up at? Well, we parked right next door here.
Oh, okay.
Is where we parked. And then we went, just pretty much right across the street, right? Yeah, right across, not quite to City Hall, but right there, yeah. And oh my gosh, the kid, Belmega, yeah.
Oh, I kind of remember that now.
Yeah, because what were you doing Saturday afternoon?
I was in my very first parade ever.
What was that experience like?
It was really neat, although you definitely give up something.
But you gained something also. You gained a new experience.
A sore arm. Them kids are ready for the candy now. They are ready. No, it's more like toss. It was fun. Just being able to see all the kids, how excited they were.
Yeah.
Pretty well behaved. There wasn't a whole lot of kids running out further than they should. Got some comments on that. There was one particular little area that I think every time the child ran out, we should have stopped and spanked the parent. But
it's funny because a while back they actually made it a rule for the parades here that you couldn't throw candy anymore. You had to actually hand it out,
right?
Because of that, because there were kids that were running out there and they didn't care that there was a huge truck coming down.
But for the most part, 90% of what I saw, kids were so well behaved. They were staying back. I mean, in the street, but right there at the curb.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun. First time I got to see my grandkids, in that position where they were surprised to see me. And of course, yes, I threw, like half my bag out right then. I don't care. I did.
Nepotism at its finest.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, yeah. What do you think I was doing in the parade?
All right, cool. Yeah, the little one that was with us, she was, did very well. She loved all the floats and things. And we saw a lot of the Grinch. We saw more Grinch than I think we saw Santa Claus.
And there was some
coming out.
Legit Grinch.
Oh, yeah.
That went for the real deal.
Yeah. So, that's what we did. We hung out a little bit at the live nativity scene, which was kind of cool.
I loved that.
Yeah,
absolutely,
that was kind of cool.
That.
Didn't get spit on by the camel, so that was nice.
Did you pet the camels?
I think I know I pet the donkey. I think I pet the camel also. I don't go around petting candles.
It's a weird fetish or something.
I think it is.
What stays off the air stays off the air. We talked about this.
It's too late now. We told you about that whole live concept, right?
So, but yeah, and then Saturday evening, went to a retirement party for a friend of ours who goes to church with us, and I mean it was pretty cool. Sunday had the granddaughters over, which was really fun, and so yeah, good stuff. Good
Did you
stuff.
go in and see Santa at the cinema? Well, you still have that left to do. Yeah. Being in the parade, you don't get to see the parade. So there were so many. I watched the drone footage afterwards.
Yeah.
BC Photography.
He gets great footage.
You
That
know,
is
I have a
awesome.
question about that. I'm going to be a bit of a stickler here.
You're going to go all FCC or
Well,
FAA rules, aren't you?
No, I'm not going to go over the rules. What I'm going to advise. I'm not sure who owns BC Photography or whatever, but
A
if
very
if you're flying over people and you don't have a license and you hurt someone, like if a piece falls off of those drones, which is not uncommon, mind you,
right.
it's a hell of a fine and a lawsuit. So
Just going to go out on a limb and totally assume here. It says I do know him,
mhm.
and to know his family. I'm going to assume he has dotted all the I's and crossed the T's.
I hope so. That's why I quit doing drone photography,
Yeah.
because the liability that is there it's insane. I mean, even when you're doing real estate photos, like the FAA has actually started cracking down on those guys, and they're cracking down on the realtors. I mean, we're talking thousands of dollars in fines here. So, I mean, I think the footage is awesome.
Oh,
I
it's
think the guy
great.
does a great job.
You know what, though? Let's just pause on that for a second. So you can't let a drone out of your sight when you're flying it if you're a drone pilot. And you can only go so high. You're not supposed to fly over crowds or groups of people or anything like that. But Amazon can send out delivery drones that are unmanned.
Well, it's Amazon.
Well, I mean, yeah.
The
Don't be
rules
messing
don't
with
apply to the
design,
rich, Bill. Don't
okay?
you know this already?
Just saying. Just saying. People are worried about semi trucks being, autonomous, but wait till the drone crashes into your face when you're walking out the front door.
So I actually had, thank the Lord, I was not over people at the time. When I was doing drone photography, I was filming an event out at Gateway, the racetrack over there. Was it
Worldwide Technology?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I was filming something out there, and my drone, I only had this drone about maybe 15 feet in the air, and it wasn't over anybody, and it threw a propeller.
Oh.
And when it did, it literally flipped, spun, and smashed right on the ground. Now, besides watching $1,000 just go in the garbage at that point,
starting crying.
Yeah. I was just thinking, I was like, holy crap. I am so glad there wasn't someone underneath that, because my insurance that I had at the time was only for my property. It wasn't if I, slit someone's face because my drone, fell down or something like that. So, I'm just saying that, be careful,
right,
with your drone photographer or whatever. Again, your pictures are fantastic. I love your pictures and the video footage that I've seen, but man, just be super careful.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming we don't have many children listening or watching, so I'm just going to say this. There was something that was so very disappointing.
Are you about to ruin the childhood
of many
people?
Just maybe. So if you're like, I don't know,
ladies and gentlemen, the views and opinions that are expressed here on the Internet Show are not necessarily those of GCRX. Okay, ruin childhoods.
Ruin it. As I said, when you're in the parade, you don't get to see much of the parade. However, Minnie and Mickey, did you see them? They walked the parade.
I think so. Yeah, they were near the front, I think, weren't they?
Well, Mickey had his head off most of the time talking on the phone.
Oh, geez.
During the parade?
During the parade, to the point where people were just like losing their crap, who I was with, like, who do I report this to? And I'm like, I don't know that you can really report this, but you just wait till Monday night.
Disney. Tell Disney.
Yeah.
Listen, I would assume that out of all of the things that we tell our children are real, that they would notice that the guy in the big mouse suit is not real first.
But what I guess...
Oh, it's a giant dog. Look at that. Look, that's a duck with misproportioned
even
duckness.
Infants.
Well, like a 4 or 5 or 6 year old, they might not
even
know,
lower. Even infants recognize
the decapitated mouse.
So now, even infants know Mickey and Minnie. I mean, they can name that tune.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter if he's in the red and the black or she's in the pink and the white. they know. That's like the number one thing. No wonder Disney is a god. I mean, I don't know. This is it. But it was really concerning that the head was off. And then I made this comment later on when I was down at Civic Park, and they're like, "Well, Minnie didn't have hers on either." I'm like, "Okay, I give up. I don't know." Whatever. But I did get to see the nativity. That was beautiful.
Yeah.
Walking through Judy Knapp's Garden Gate Revival is
Just revival, I think.
Just
is what it says
revival?
on the building. Yeah.
that was like a winter wonderland because you already see all those things in her window, but to walk through it, you couldn't help but get a little Christmassy.
Yeah.
That was neat. Being in the parade, you miss all of that too, because when you get to the end, then it's getting back to wherever you started at for your car. So when I finally got back to where we started, helped undecorate the vehicle and got in my own vehicle and got downtown, as I was opening my car door, this is what I literally heard. 5, 4, 3.
Oh, for the lights.
Yeah.
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 Nice.
Yeah. So I was like, dang it.
Yeah. I saw your
So-
car parked over there by Civic Park when we walked down to the Mistletoe Market, and that's kind of cool. You know, the
And it was
vendors market.
packed. There was a lot of vendors there.
There were a lot of vendors. I don't necessarily know that there were a lot of people by the time we got there.
They were when I got there.
Yeah. I was really surprised because it seemed like at the end of the parade, with the exception of the nativity, it was almost like Civic Park was a ghost town.
It was.
It cleared out quick.
It cleared out very quick. However, it was probably one of the most attended events we've had.
Nice.
The Elf Walk had over 300 families, not just people, but families.
Wow, nice.
It was absolutely packed. But even my own grandchildren didn't stick around. They were just so cold from standing out
It was
on the
pretty
parade
chilly, yeah.
route, waiting for the parade.
Right. yeah.
The parade.
Mhm.
And my daughter-in-law was just done too. You know, it was just
Gotcha.
like, no.
Well, I can say that the little one we had with us kept like 4 or 5 times screaming it was the best day ever.
Oh, that is
you know?
awesome.
So yeah, it was. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
And
Just imagine.
Harvest Church, Roy Boyer
Mhm.
may have had the best hot chocolate I've ever tasted. And I
Really?
believe it was donated by Prairie Farms.
That's cool.
They went through it so fast that they came back and
Mhm.
donated a second batch. They had to leave twice to go get more cups. And I was like, okay, well, I got to get in on this.
Yeah.
And went and got a cup. And I have to say, it may have been the best hot chocolate I've ever tasted.
That eggnog there also.
They did,
Yeah.
but I went
Rebecca
with the
got
hot
some eggnog
chocolate.
and- yeah.
So
yeah.
wherever that, whatever was made with that was good.
Yeah. Bill, your church was out there also with the snack shack.
Yeah, giving away the little
The
Debbie
Christmas trees,
Yeah.
got me one, sure did.
Yeah.
yeah.
A lovely lady was standing outside.
They took shifts, so
Oh,
I
okay.
don't even know who you saw. There were
This
so many people.
this was towards the end, and as soon as we walked up, she's like, "Would you like some snacks?" And I'm like, "No, I heard about the trees. I need,
Yeah.
I need a
Yeah.
tree."
He got like 500 of those things.
I bet he gave every one of them away.
Almost all of them, I think. Yeah.
Those little Debbie snacks,
Mhm.
the
Yes.
fudge Christmas trees. Or
yeah,
whatever.
the like little cocaine Christmas trees.
Yeah.
What I call them. You gotta have them around the. They're
Ugh.
they're addictive.
I really wish that I could eat stuff like that, without fear of death, because
Yeah.
I mean, those things are so good. Like the little Debbie cakes in general are really
Mhm.
great. Like I
Mhm.
really like those snack cakes and snack pies anyway.
Moderation, like a taste, a bite. Can you have
Yeah, I
that?
can have a bite. I just can't cram my face full of them anymore like I'd like to.
Well,
Yeah.
one thing I've noticed, like I was never a huge candy or sugar person, but now that there is no candy, no sugar, I've been trying to do that. I want
Mhm.
it. I want it
Yeah.
all the time. I see a cake and I'm like salivating.
Yeah.
Before I'd be like, oh, it's cake. I'm not a big deal. Now it's like, why? Get
Yes.
it away.
See, I'm kind of I'm
So
kinda
you
the
felt
opposite.
about the Christmas trees.
I did too.
Like I
they were like
did.
posting pictures of them. Like, man, I need me one of the Christmas trees. I'm
And
like,
I had already
I'm
made
like making adult decisions in my mind. I'm like, I'm gonna get in the car and go to Schnucks right now and get a whole box of those Christmas trees. And the bad thing is, I'd sit there and eat the whole freaking box. You got to commit. I mean, if you're not just going to eat one,
Hey,
I'm
man,
not going to
go big or go home, right?
No, the kids aren't getting these. You didn't work for these. These are mine. Come
Yeah,
on.
So I'm kind of the opposite. Before I found out I was diabetic,
Mhm.
like I didn't really eat a lot of sugar and candy or anything anyway. I liked cake and I liked pie. And then where I worked at, we literally had our developer there. We'd all kind of congregate in his area,
Mhm.
and he always had this jar of M&Ms
Oh,
on top.
yeah.
So you'd go in there, and it became almost Pavlovian. You'd go in there, you'd walk in there, get your handful of peanut M&Ms, cram them in your mouth, and then go about and do your business. Well, when I found out I was diabetic, and they're like, you can't have that stuff anymore, and I was like, okay, not a big deal. I can give it up. I'm not a big candy guy anyway, right? Sure enough, though, I'd go in there, and next thing I know, not even thinking about it, I've got a handful of peanut M&Ms in here, and I'm sitting there popping in my mouth, and the guy's like, what are you doing? You're not supposed to have those anymore. I was like, crap, so obviously can't put the ones back in there, but I've never really had a strong desire to where I have to have sugars or anything like that. Carbs is my biggest deal. Now, Bill, I don't know how you do with carbs, but that's really where I
Terrible.
struggle. Yeah.
Terrible.
Potato chips, bread, pasta.
Me too.
Yeah, and we went on this whole health kick thing, and we were doing really good, and then all the kids' different events started happening, like
Mhm.
Julia's play practice and Andrew's in wrestling, and there's nothing at these events. They're freaking concession stands and stuff, like and or you end up one of those situations where it's like, oh, we only have time to run through a drive-through, and honestly, there's not really anything that I like. There's not. I'm like, oh, I gotta have me some of this. It's usually like, what sounds good? She's like, nothing. And steak sounds good. But you can't get that in a drive-through. Okay, so yeah, it's just it's quick and it's convenient. And some of these places used to have halfway decent options, like McDonald's had decent salads, and I think they've all kind of just laid off of that. They're like, yeah, no, that's not our thing. So, yeah, I mean, I just fail at that. It's either cook dinner, and there's no time for that either. I don't know. I'm making excuses, obviously.
It's a slippery slope once you start.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm going to get right back on it.
Yeah.
But that's the best part of this time of year. Everyone knows everyone's going to try again on January 1st.
Right.
We're all
Right.
going to give it another shot. I even thought about this tonight when I was on my way here. I kind of swung around the block, and is this Tanks? It's the closest to us.
Yeah.
Tanks? Yeah.
Tanks,
Okay,
yes.
yeah.
And as I come around, there were so many vehicles there.
Is it a bar?
No, it's a
gym.
It's a gym. Okay.
Yeah, and I spent many of weeks up there when my children were in wrestling in the Lion's Den when that was first formed. They let the wrestlers upstairs.
Okay.
So when I turned that corner and I seen so many vehicles, my first thought was, this is the gym's. This is the gym's time of year. This is it for them. This is their hoopla.
If you're not promoting like cheap memberships right around
What are you
New Year's
doing?
resolution time, yeah, like you're losing out, because here's the thing. You could pull a total scumbag move and overbook the crap out of your gym, and it doesn't even matter. They're not going to show up.
Yeah.
You could book yourself 2,000%, and you're still going to be ghost town after the first day. It's just not going to happen.
Right.
No.
But you made all that money.
Oh my god.
Well, after January 31st, because
Right.
the people are
Yes,
going to
they're going to try.
They're going to try, man.
Yeah.
They're going to get in there, and I want to tell you guys this right now. If you have money that you want to just kind of throw in the garbage, or just kind of get rid of, or whatever, with a gym membership that you're not going to use, let me tell you about Chill Man Chuck's gym membership that's payable by a PayPal subscription.
Wait, are those motivational videos? Is that what you're doing?
You know what? I can make a motivational video. I can tell you, get up, get your ass out of bed,
No. That doesn't
go somewhere. That ought to be at least worth $10 a month.
That
for you.
doesn't cut it. I need your best Richard Simmons right now. Come on.
Okay, I loved him. Is
Richard
he still
Simmons?
alive?
Yeah, he's still
Yeah,
alive.
Okay, it's not a Bob
Yes.
Barker thing. All right.
No, he's
Okay.
he's still
Come on,
alive.
look at Richard Simmons. That
I
guy was
love
like the
him.
health guy. That
Him-
guy's going to live to be 500 years old.
Him and Chuck Norris.
Yes. Yeah.
Sweating to the oldies.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that dude. Extra.
Yeah.
I mean, he owned himself.
I think
that
maybe
was it.
yeah, I think maybe he just got made fun of too much because he was going on podcasts and stuff, and they were tearing him up, and it probably hurt his feelings or something.
Oh,
Well,
well, that makes me sad.
I'm sure he's probably still cashing those checks.
Oh,
for
yeah.
the residuals and things like that. So
Feelings can't be too hurt.
Yeah.
Or at least he can afford the tissues to wipe the tears away.
Right, there you go. So talking about this time of year, things and that you had mentioned a few minutes ago. We talked I think a couple of weeks ago just about the holiday season and Halloween, and man, it's actually been about a month ago already, I guess.
Yeah.
Talked about Halloween and Thanksgiving, and how and just kind of kicks off the get fat season, because that's really what it does. People are now starting to put together family holiday times, and everyone's looking at everybody's calendar saying, when can we meet? When can we not meet? What's good for you? What's good for me? Who we're going to go? Where we went there last year? We're going there again this year. We've got 5 different places we need to be this year, between 2 and 4. What are we going to do? Things like that, What are your plans? Like, do you fall into those traps at all, or?
Well, I'm kind of in a unique situation. My children are grown. My family doesn't really, my sisters and stuff don't get together like we used to.
Mm-hmm.
Their families are grown. And actually, prior to the show starting, what I was doing over here was booking my trip.
To Jamaica?
No.
Don't tell me you're going to some random obscure Midwest town again.
Okay, you know what? I freaking loved Cleveland, Ohio. Straight up.
Some people go to Hawaii. Some people go to the Bahamas. Key West.
Kim's
No.
going to Malden, Missouri.
Akron, Ohio. Population 375. There's
Oh
like
my
one
God.
stop sign, and Kim
Listen.
is in that hotel.
Kim stayed at the Plaza in downtown Cleveland, right next to Lake Erie, across from the Rock and Roll.
I'm just
Hall of
saying, like,
Fame.
listen, when people are like, God, I need a vacation, I want to go. No, it's not Cleveland. Ever.
Yeah.
Ever. That's never even crossed my mind.
Well, Grant, you're right. You're right. But I like that kind of thing. However, this trip, I need beach. I need beach.
You beach all the time. What are you talking about?
Yeah, exactly right.
Oh, wow.
I
You gonna let
left
that go? You
Yeah,
gonna let that
I am. I left
I
it
said
up.
she beaches.
I left it up to the airport because I want to fly out of the Mosquito, whatever we're going to call that place now.
Is this like airline roulette?
Yes, because they only fly certain places on certain days.
Okay.
So if you want to go to, say, Fort Walton or Destin or
Mhm,
any of those,
yeah.
then you need to leave on a Tuesday or a Thursday. You kind of got to work it. I seen that they were advertising Myrtle Beach. I kind of got a little bit excited, but their weekly flights do not start until next year to Myrtle Beach. So have you ever flew in or out of that airport? It's literally like a
Mid-America?
one-man show.
Mm-mm.
Mid-America Airport?
Yes.
No, I have
He
not.
will park your car. He'll sell you a ticket. He'll take your luggage. He packs the plane. I think he flies it. I don't know. It's a one-man operation.
Nice.
You're not making it sound great at all.
It's
I know that
wonderful.
He
you're.
hangs a
I know
sign
that-
up on the door that says, "Be back in 5 hours."
I know that you're trying to, like, wow, it's so convenient, but all I can think is like some crusty old dude like walking up and like throwing this janky gas filler into the airplane, and
No, he's more like a teenager.
With a
like
Vietnam
strapped-
War jacket
right.
on. you
He's
know.
got a fucking cigarette out of his mouth.
Cigar.
And, cigar, and he's like,
Cigar
"Where
and
we
white
going?
hair.
Where are you? The part? Where are we
Even
going?"
worse, he's like about 15 or 16.
So the whole operation's illegal. Okay, it better be cheap.
So I chose Destin.
Okay.
So,
Or did Destin choose you?
well, yeah.
Did
there
you get
go.
life insurance before the flight?
No, and I don't pay for that crappy stuff either, like Flex Flight or Change Your Mind shit. No, you book
You're
it
letting
and
Hannibal from
go.
the A Team fly you to Destin. I mean,
Hello, Clarice.
I love the airport. I know him.
how many of you people out there know your pilot personally? Yeah.
I mean, he will even holler from the back. Close the door. We're all on.
Oh my gosh. He's hollering from the back. This guy don't have a door to the cockpit. What do you
Hey.
walk in with like
Hey.
a Bic pen or something? You
Kim,
know?
make sure you rattle that handle so it's closed all the way. It sticks.
Yeah, I got you.
Do your
Yeah.
seats unfold when you get into the plane also?
There are no seats.
What? Okay,
There's
no.
been-
What? There's benches. Okay.
What airline are you flying?
Get you there fast. Yeah, quick. Hour and a half nonstop. Check it out, folks. $69.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, and now that
See, now you all are interested. You don't care that he's 15 and
Okay.
still has acne, right?
Okay. First of all, I'm not interested in anything. It's called Get You There Fast. Costs $69 only. Has no seats in it, but you get to sit in the bench that you might get to strap on. And the dude's parking my car right before he
A
flies
strap
me
on.
off.
Wait a
to
minute.
the-
What?
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 that's the second time tonight, Chuck. First, you're doing candles, and now it's strap-ons. What is
Okay.
up with
Well,
that?
you know, personal life. You know, what can I say? Now, this is actually called Get to Know Your Host Night.
And where's the host going next week? Oh, this all plays in really well.
Oh boy.
Oh, yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. So yes, I will be taking a trip this week. And for all those of you who plan to break into my house, it will not be empty. So you better scrap that one. So there will be somebody
Dang
there.
it.
He's in better shape than me too, so I wouldn't break in because you might just, whip your ass or shoot you. I don't know, but whatever's easier. So, but yeah, I promise you, my trip is not a 16-year-old
Is he-
kid flying.
Cardboard?
Oh.
He is not cardboard. He is not cardboard.
You don't
I will
have
let
the
the mayor
security that we have.
I will leave it to the mayor to protect my city. I will leave it to someone else to protect my home. So yeah, I'm heading for a trip. I'm super excited about it. First time I've ever been out of the country. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about that.
Can we mention where you're going, or is that a no?
I don't care. I mean,
I mean, like Amsterdam,
yes.
like all these thoughts, these.
What kind of thoughts are you having?
Well, what do you know about Amsterdam?
Red light district.
Yeah, right. And screw the weed. It's straight up opium there, right? I mean, I don't know.
I don't
this.
know.
I've
mean,
never been
I've never
because
been either. This
my
will be my first
airline
time.
doesn't go out of the country.
That's because he's not allowed out of the country.
It's because the fuel tank's not big enough.
He's got curfew.
He's in a puddle jumper, not
curfew?
an ocean jumper.
He's got a curfew. Oh, I
That's why
can't.
you only do one way back, and
Okay,
one day trips.
isn't it legal to take out life insurance policies on other people? I listen.
Unless you're married to him. I think if you're married to him, it might be okay.
Well, we're not. So
they have
I'm
to be
thinking,
notified.
I'm thinking I've got a worthwhile investment coming up here. Like, get you there fast. Get you there dead.
We may get you there, dead or alive.
Right.
What do we got on the comment board, Bill? Anything big going on there?
Oh, I haven't been paying attention, laughing too hard. Hold on.
So, what are you guys doing this Christmas? Do you guys do anything fun, or I mean, we have the comment board up here. Love for you guys to just kind of drop some comments in here. Bill, you want to go ahead and drop the invitation link on there also? And
Absolutely.
if you guys want to, join in the conversation, I mean, we're having a lot of fun here already, so I don't guess we, I don't know. I'd love to hear from you guys. Drop that link in there, and then if you can't see it, jump to one of our other pages, and you might be able to catch it over there. But we are coming to you live from YouTube tonight, also, which is kind of cool. So we're building that up. So I'll have an announcement next week, probably more so on my personal page, about the ongoing viewability of the show. We're always going to be available on the 6-Door page. We're definitely going to be available on in the Metro page, and also definitely on GCRX page, because that's the podcast network that we're actually a part of. If you guys like kind of what you're seeing here, and maybe you'd like to have your own show, then I would encourage you guys to come down here and talk to us a little bit about doing your own show. We've got Tim and Justin are actually sitting out here in the Peanut Gallery right now, watching the show live, which you guys can do that also on a Monday night. Pop on down here, and we're located right here in downtown Granite City, more commonly known as the District. We are right behind Garden Gate Tea Room, right in the complex. Pretty much it houses Garden Gate Tea Room, the board gamery, the diner, a lot of just really cool things that are going on here. And right behind us, which this place actually stays pretty busy, is Studio C. We're Studio B with the live entertainment. Studio C is actually a private cinema that you guys could rent out on your own if you wanted to. Plenty of seating in there. I believe it includes concessions. Is that correct?
It does. It does.
Okay, so great place
to host a party.
Yeah, a little holiday party. Come on down here. Contact Brenda Whitaker, of course. And then, if you want to meetings, board gamery. Could be your own personal boardroom if you wanted to.
Absolutely.
Just come down here and have a chat. And while you're down here, saw a couple other places down here really cool. Level 1 Arcade, or is it Level 1 Up?
Level 1 Up. Yep.
Okay, Level 1 Up is right down the street, which is really cool. It's right next to JJ's barbecue, which man, I've got to get in there and get some of this barbecue.
Have you not had it at all?
I have not. Every time I try to
dude.
get down there or whatever, it's either, I guess they're closed because I'm too early or something like that.
When he sells out, he's done. It's
Yeah.
like no soup for you today kind of thing.
No, barbecue Nazi.
Yes.
All
It's
right.
he makes a certain amount and you get it or you missed out. It's just
All right.
that simple.
All right, awesome. Yeah, so I mean, you got that down there. I think Kimara's is on a hiatus for right now, but then there's the Speakeasy, which is down there, and I think was Just Be there again, or are they going to be there this weekend?
That I'm not sure of. I know Bill Peasy was just there.
Yeah, I see Bill there quite a bit.
This parade really just occupied so much of my time.
Yeah,
I really don't know what's going on in the district
Slacker.
at the moment. I know, right? And listen, my
are you even
schedule is
worthy
busy.
of being alderman?
Oh, that's right. I am alderman. That's right. That's what I was in the parade for. Okay, it's all making sense
Oh
now.
my gosh.
I got
Remember this come election day, folks.
Yeah, because I'm not going to. No.
I hear she may have higher aspirations, but we don't know yet.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, flying. Hell, I think I could do it.
Yeah, that's next time.
Have
you're
you
on
ever
there.
done it?
No, but I think he'd probably love me.
It's not that difficult.
No, it's not.
Mm-mm.
I loved it. So I
Mhm.
officially have 1 hour of flying under my belt.
Mm.
So
Oh,
yeah, when I was out in Seattle, was it Seattle? Yeah, when I was out in Seattle, I was purchased for a birthday gift 1 hour of flight training. So I got to kind of go through the whole thing. It was like a 2 or 3 hour ordeal altogether. But basically, we went to the class. I learned about some of the gadgets and gizmos and things like that. And then we got in the plane, able to take off, fly around for about an hour. And then when it came to the landing, like he's the one who did the landing, the other guy. It was really cool though, because it was an experience I got to share with my kids.
oh, very
Right. Like
cool.
my kids were, sitting in the back, while I was flying the plane. So it was pretty
Do you
awesome.
plan on doing that again?
Flying?
Uh-huh.
Possibly. I'm not opposed to it. I
You might want to check into that insurance, Rebecca.
well, my next comment's probably where the insurance comes in, because I have been skydiving before,
Oh, okay.
and
Ugh.
that was awesome. And that was amazing to do that. So that's something I'd love to do again also. But
Nope.
as I get older, I don't know. But yeah.
I don't know. You see on the news all the time, a 106-year-old dude jumps out of the plane. I mean, what's up?
I would have a heart attack as soon as nope.
It's pretty I like to use this term when I'm just high adrenaline, high octane.
Mhm.
Like it's a pretty high octane thing to do, because once you leave the plane, there's nothing to do but enjoy it. Like you get to either be terrified or you get to enjoy it, and you may as well enjoy it,
Oh, absolutely.
because as you're coming out of that plane, you see the ground coming up to you or whatever, and you get to see just like all kinds of things, and you can actually see the curvature of the earth from up there. So all you flat worlders, Tim, we'll talk after the show.
Oh my gosh, here we go again.
But Justin's on my page right there, but yeah, oh my gosh, it was so fun.
I wouldn't say no to it, but it's not something I would actively go and do.
I don't even want
Let
to
me
get on
take
a
this
plane.
call real quick, because this is an interesting one.
Oh, here we go.
Okay, so she didn't take it. Okay, that was actually my mom. So, and I always have to remind my mom when the show is on. Yes, I'm a 50-year-old man who wants his mommy to watch a show. Okay. And I just find it funny, because I know she's not watching the show, because she just called me on my phone.
She probably wouldn't talk about that candle.
The candle?
Just
If she
the
wanted to
candle.
talk about anything, it'd probably been the
Yeah.
other thing she wanted to talk about. Not the candle.
We're going to call you out. You can't make a mistake.
There's no keeping secrets from these guys. There just isn't, So,
And
How do
it's
we get off
only
this
weird if
topic
I
and
don't make a mistake.
like,
There's the thing right there.
what's that?
It's only weird if I don't make a mistake. It's perfect politician stuff.
Well,
going
we've
on.
got plenty of material now. We know we fly for
Oh.
Rust Bucket Airlines, so
Rust Bucket Airlines, yeah. RBA Incorporated.
Yeah.
Well, I
I
hope you
enjoy
have-
it.
I hope you have fun in Destin. That sounds like a
Yeah.
pretty cool vacation destination.
So later today, I'll see
Get
if
it,
I can find a
destination?
hotel. All I got done today was just the flight.
You're gonna find your hotel before you go.
Well,
Right?
sure.
Okay.
Like tonight or
Alright.
tomorrow.
Well, there's some people like there are websites out there that if you wait till like the very last minute,
William
They say
Shatner
they'll
will
get
get you a place. You just got to trust the process.
he doesn't even do those commercials anymore.
Well, that doesn't mean I still don't enjoy him, Bill.
you enjoy William Shatner.
I do.
And now we know another thing. Perfect.
Nice.
I
This woman's never going to
absolutely
be able
do.
to run for president of the United States. You know that?
No.
Like never.
Oh no, she qualifies. Have you seen the candidates and people? we've had
Okay,
in
yeah,
office?
you
Come
may-
on now.
All
I
right.
don't have
All right. You make a
dementia.
valid point. You make a valid point.
You're a step ahead of the competition right now.
Once again, the opinions expressed on the Metro.
Somebody told me, and I laughed so hard that when he walks off stage at anything, he looks like a Roomba, just back and forth
Nice.
like a robot.
Nice.
I'm like, yes, that's true.
So crazy.
Just because
so
I know
crazy.
how that ping pong ball goes both ways, I don't have dementia and I don't tan orange. So, okay, there.
But you could tan orange.
No, I don't think so.
And you could catch dementia.
Oh wow, he went the dark side.
I don't think so. I've had that test.
Do you catch dementia or do you develop
You
dementia?
develop-
Genetic.
Have you done? Has your dentist? Have you?
No.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
What?
Did you decide not to do it?
No, I just haven't had it done, and I think maybe I'm just a pansy or something because my grandma had it.
Woo, I was so scared. I'm not even gonna lie. Got it done the first time in Webster Grove
Mhm.
during some dental work. They can run a test through some things that are in your gums and tell you if you're predisposed to several different things, some really biggies. And they kind of did it before I was sure I even wanted to know, but it all turned out well. And then also Troy Family Dental in Troy, Illinois also offers it. And I guess I was feeling, lucky already. And that's just not in the cards.
Is this-
And I'm very
this is
thankful for
a-
that.
A dementia test?
It's a lot of different things. Bill, can you help me out with any kind of
Yeah,
verbiage?
it's just like genetic conditions, brain conditions.
it can tell you
Gotcha. Okay.
a lot about your
Heart,
heart
yeah.
because dental is so connected to your heart.
Mhm.
So a lot of things about that. There's a few different kinds of cancers.
I've heard that if you have an aching tooth, sometimes that can be an indication of a heart attack.
From what I have watched and heard, I have extensive dental work.
Mm-hmm.
It's very connected. So when you have an infection, a toothache, it's nothing to really play around with,
Yeah.
Or Joe might fix it today, but you might have something serious going on.
Well, I almost died, 13 years ago because of an infection in my
A
jaw.
tooth infection?
Wow.
Sure did. Funny, not really funny story, but I had an infected tooth. Went to the dentist during my lunch break because where I was working at the time, there was a dental office right downstairs, right? So I go downstairs complaining about this tooth hurting, and the doctor's like, "Oh yeah, we can just go ahead and pull that." I'm like, "Really? Like right now?" He's like, "Oh yeah, it was a wisdom tooth, is what it was."
Mhm.
He's like, "Oh yeah, we can just go ahead and pull that." I was like, "Okay, pull my tooth." So we're in there. He gives me the injection, and this tooth was not wanting to come out, right?
Oh, no.
So he gets over me. I mean, this is like Tim Watley. You know what I'm talking about
Mhm.
on Seinfeld?
Mhm.
This is like having Tim Watley stand over me, only about 200 pounds heavier, right? This guy's got his knee like on the chair, and he's like got these little like clamped plier things in my mouth, jerking on my tooth, and I'm like, "It hurts, it hurts." And he's like, "What?" I'm like, "It hurts." He's like, "You shouldn't be able to feel anything," and I'm like, "I do." And so they give me another shot.
Did they have Cottonall in there?
No.
No?
This guy
Hmm.
literally had what looked like a.
So wait a minute. So
This was
Kim-
a legit dental
So
office.
hold on. No. Kim flies on budget Death Airlines,
Yeah.
and
Get
you
you there
get
fast.
budget hillbilly dentistry.
This wasn't budget hillbilly, but you would have thought it was. Because okay, so this guy, he gets up there, he finally gets a tooth pulled out, and I'm like, oh my gosh. So I go back upstairs. About an hour later, I'm like, I'm in severe pain at this point.
Mhm.
And turns out what I had was an infection in the tooth. So he gave me some, I think it was Percocet or Vicodin or something like that
Oh wow!
to help with the pain.
So
So
you won't feel anything.
well, I went in there and I told my boss, I'm like, I'm hurt. And he's like, are you an idiot? He's like, you went and had your tooth pulled during lunch? And I'm like, well, the dentist seemed to think it was okay, and it obviously was not okay, right?
Right.
So I get back to work the next day. Yes, like an idiot. I get up in pain. I'm still going to work, right? That's just kind of the way I was raised.
Mhm.
I go to work, and my jaw is swollen like you wouldn't believe. My boss looks at me. He's like, holy crap. He's like, is that from your tooth? I was like, yeah. He's like, you need to go downstairs and have them do something about that. Anyway, long story short, I go down there. They say, we can see you in like a month and a half. I go upstairs. I told my boss that. He then takes me downstairs. He's like, are you people insane? Look at this man's jaw. Like, look what you did to this guy. So they send me over across the street to a like an urgent care place or whatever. And they're like, you're going to the hospital right now. So I actually they would not let me leave there. They called the ambulance at the urgent care. I got taken to the hospital, and they rushed me into surgery because they were concerned I had MRSA because of the
shoot.
infection, because I wasn't given any kind of antibiotics or anything like that to fight off or stave off the infection. And it was about this time last year, actually, because I was there a couple days before Christmas. I got out Christmas Day. Then the day after Christmas, it may have even been Christmas Eve, I went back into the hospital because my jaw swelled up again. They had to undergo a second surgery. And that because they were so afraid, because of all the stuff going on in my mouth, was going to kill me. And they had said that if I hadn't gotten to the hospital the day that I went in there, I'd have probably died.
Dang.
And so yeah, it was pretty insane.
That's
So yeah,
nuts.
that mouth stuff and the whole
Absolutely.
yeah. I mean, I guess this is the entrance into the body,
And that was just last year.
No, this was back in 2010.
Oh, 2010. Aren't we up right now? Right now is our anniversary.
Actually, today is the 4th. So actually, I checked on that. December 14th
Oh, okay.
is our
Never mind.
anniversary. Yeah, December 14th is our,
Carry on.
and I did talk with Jenna.
Oh, okay.
And she has agreed to come on to the show next week.
Awesome, because
So-
we had technical difficulties.
Right.
We've
And
gotten much better.
so we want to give her an opportunity to come back on and share our anniversary with us. So and also if any of you guys out there that are watching know how to make I don't know, a sugar-free cake or anniversary
Ooh.
cakes or something like that, we'd be happy to promote your business while we celebrate our anniversary here on the show. But yeah. But no, we're going to be 14th. So our show on the 11th is going to be our anniversary show, which is
All right, very
next week.
cool. Yes. Wow. That year went. Yeah.
It did. Yeah. Yeah. And honestly, I am so thankful for this man sitting here to my right, because he has done a lot to bring this show
Absolutely.
up to the level that we are now. And, we have plans to, grow even larger. And, Bill does a lot for the show here. He takes care of what's going on over there. He makes sure that we're all being able to be heard. He makes sure that all the video is up. And I mean, he's the one he runs the show. So
We don't kid around about that engineer part.
yeah, no, I mean, this show literally, I couldn't do it, sitting here and talking with you guys at the same time. So it takes a very special person to do this.
Listen,
Aw.
So thank you, Bill.
I
Thank you.
appreciate that, but it'll be another couple months, and you'll be able to ask Siri to do it, and she'll have it done for you. It's fine.
There's probably truth in that. We're gonna change it. We're gonna change the comments over to Chat GPT.
Yep,
No, we're going to do that. We're going to let 2 iPads are going to run the show.
pretty much.
Oh, Lord.
So yeah, no, we are coming up on our
Yeah.
anniversary. So very cool. Yeah, we're just gonna be a couple days shy. I'm actually glad that I'm coming back on Sunday, because I was concerned that I wasn't going to make it back in time for the anniversary show. So
We'd have just got a cardboard cut out of you and put it in your chair.
we
Yeah.
need to
Think
do
about
that.
Absolutely.
If you're going to be
can hang out
gone, we
with
can put
him.
one of you there, and if I'm going to be gone, we can put one of me here. And
We'll ask you questions. You can do some pre-recorded responses too, and we'll make it sound like you're talking. What do you think about that, Kim? Yeah.
Is he still alive?
Man, she never blinks. I know, it's weird.
That's what we can do. We can have Andrew like comb through past shows
Yes.
and pull canned responses
Yes.
from
Yes.
Kim.
We'll just piece them together so they sound completely like, yeah, no.
That would be
Again,
awesome.
AI, like for real.
You could even do you can even have you seen the thing where you can make pictures come to life? Have you
Uh-huh.
seen that?
That's
And, like,
creepy.
It is creepy.
It's creepy.
It is
bro.
super, super
It's so
creepy, man.
creepy. Like, no, she's been dead for 30 years. Quit it, okay? No. Stop.
So tonight on the show, Patty Duke will be joining us.
Right.
Who?
Patty Duke. Don't tell me you don't know who Patty Duke is.
What is wrong with you?
Do you really not know who Patty Duke
No,
is?
for $100, I do not know. Patty Duke. Related to the Duke? I don't know.
No, she had her own show. Can you guess what it was called?
Patty's?
The Patty Duke Show.
Ugh.
Was she like friends with Dinah Shore?
Dinah Shore. I don't know if she knew Dinah
Do you
Shore
know
or
Dinah
not.
Shore?
I do know who Dinah
Okay.
Shore was.
Huh. I don't know. You know what I think? Did your mom watch soap operas?
I don't know if she does anymore or not.
But did she when you were growing
Oh
up?
yeah, I watched soap operas.
Yeah,
when I
so
was little 'cause
your mom probably watched a channel that the Patty chick was on.
Patty Duke, right there.
You have no idea who that is.
Not a clue.
My God.
Wait a minute. She might have been like on Barnaby Jones.
I don't
No.
know.
Okay, never
She wasn't a regular on Barnaby Jones, but
I'm so flustered right now. I'm not even changing cameras. I can't. All right, I'm done. Cool. Moving
Okay.
on.
Moving on. We'll call it a night.
yeah. Anyway, where were we at? Like,
That just threw me off.
I
I'm
know the show's completely derailed, and not that
like,
we
you
were on
know,
track
like,
anyway.
you
You
know,
know,
Ronald
but-
Reagan, Kim. Oh, who's Ronald Reagan? What?
No, I loved him. I mean, literally, I loved him. I loved him on a horse.
He was the nation's grandpa.
I don't even care about that part. I love the Western Ronald.
Oh, so you like the Hollywood Ronald?
Yeah.
Mm.
Absolutely.
Win one for the Gipper.
Nancy and I. Yeah.
Oh.
What was his horse's name? Was it Trigger or is that somebody
I
else?
think it was
Wait a
Trigger.
I
minute.
think it was Trigger.
Yeah, I think it was Trigger.
Maybe. I have to Google it again.
Somebody had a horse named Trigger.
Somebody did.
Yeah.
Well, the Lone Ranger's horse was named Silver.
So it can't be him.
Okay.
You know who the Lone Ranger is, right?
I do.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I'm all on board with the made up people.
How do we even get on? How do we even get on Patty Duke? Like, where did that even come from?
I don't.
Because we were talking about something in particular.
Did you have a crush on her like you did that Debbie chick?
That Debbie chick. It's Miss Gibson for now.
It's
Okay,
okay.
so
if you
Debbie
did.
chick.
He did not have horse named Trigger.
Huh. Oh, that was Roy Rogers.
That was Roy Rogers. Yes.
Yeah.
You're 100% correct on that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I really wish I could remember where we got on the Patty Duke thing. Like, that's
I
going to bother me
don't.
for the rest
You're
of the
gonna have to
night.
go back and look at it because I don't know either. I just like as soon as she was like, "Who's Patty Duke?" I'm like,
Yeah,
"What?"
that totally blew my mind.
Ah, okay.
Interesting story. I believe, you remember Gomez from the Addams Family? Like,
The husband.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was like, yeah, he was the dude.
John Aston was his name.
I know him as Gomez, but
Okay. Do you know who Sean Aston is, the actor?
nope.
Like, thank you guys for joining us this evening here on In the Metro.
And we're done.
All right, so we all know that Kim is not up on her Hollywood trivia, so we'll have to. I remember where we got with the Patty Duke thing. We were talking about old celebrities that were died, and AI can make them come back to life.
Yeah, it's only a matter of time before ethics makes that a thing, and we've got old people in movies again.
Well, that was kind of what the whole SAG after strike was about.
Mm-hmm.
About using people's likenesses and.
Well, they've
things like
already
that.
done it with people who've died. You just to get through the movie that they were currently in.
Yeah.
They kind of finished it off with AI and stuff, and it's not looked the greatest,
Right.
but it's only a matter of time before it does. look-
Yeah.
I mean, just recently, they said that AI made 800 years worth of material discoveries. And when I say material discoveries, it's like, hey, scientists have figured out how to make Teflon. That's a material. Like, and now we're going to use it for all these things.
Yeah.
Well, that takes years and years, and millions of dollars in research money, and on the AI is like, well, here's this whole list of stuff you can make now.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and it could literally take a 10-year-old kid in his, basement
Yeah.
on his laptop, to do this stuff. I've seen some of the things that other people have done, and some of the stuff that's privately done blows this Hollywood stuff out of the water.
Oh yeah.
It's like there's this one guy, Joe, I can't remember his last name, Monahan or something like that, but he does all these Arnold Schwarzenegger videos where he puts Arnold Schwarzenegger's face on everything. Like there's a Whitney Houston video out there with Arnold Schwarzenegger's face on Whitney Houston, and it's insane how realistic this looks. And it originally started out as deep fakes is what they were calling.
Yeah.
Now you can't believe anything that you see. It's crazy.
Somebody
where
needs
it's
to
all
go
going.
around and start dropping some video just here and there inconspicuously with the Mandela effect things, like showing what people are
Showing
thinking they were.
Sinbad as Kazam.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
do part of the movie, just different stuff like that, just to drive people crazy, watch them all lose their minds.
Yeah. I think we've talked about this before, but have you seen the movie Yesterday?
I think so. Yeah.
Where this kid, he have you guys seen it out there? If you get a chance, if you get a chance, watch this movie. It's really good. This kid, something happens. There's this time shift, some kind of frequency shift or something like that, and he's transported to a different universe where the Beatles never existed, but he remembers everything and every song about the Beatles. In his universe, he's kind of a failed musician, right? But then in this new universe that he's in, he actually starts, writing some of the Beatles songs, and like he gets like super uber famous over this, right? Well, everyone thinks he's great and he's awesome. And John Lennon is actually alive in this movie. And I won't like spoil the ending for you, but it's really, really cool. But what's neat about it also is at the no, I'm not gonna tell the end of the movie. It's really cool though. Check it out. It's a really good movie. But yeah, so well, I guess we're gonna come back again next week and do it all over.
Absolutely. I want to talk about one thing real quick. We always kind of hit on what's
It's never
happening
one
in
thing
the
with you.
this one is,
Wow.
and this was kind of heartfelt. It's kind of the big story everywhere right now. The steel workers,
Yes.
and this time of year, and I'm usually always miss positivity. I'm always going to find something good in the bad, and when someone's going through what they are going through, the uncertainties and the scariness of what's going to happen with their paychecks and their livelihoods, and it being Christmas. I have heard and I understand that the last thing they want to hear is it's going to be okay. It's going to be fine. It always works out. But it will work out. It always does. Another job will come. Another company will buy the mill will stay. Something will always work out. It's because that's what Americans do. We pick up what's left in any situation and we move forward. This is just in our own front yard. It's not even our backyard. This is our own front yard. And we all know someone that has worked at that mill one time or another or is still there today. I'm the product of my entire fantastic childhood and great insurance and benefits because of that Granite City Steel Mill.
Same.
So my heart's with them guys and gals, and it will work out. So.
Yeah, I think the good thing about that is the state of Illinois is investigating the situation right now, what's going on, why it wasn't handled the way that it was supposed to have been handled, which I think is a good for the state of Illinois to be investigating. It's a bunch of horseshit what they did, with the owners or whoever's responsible for this. If you're going to do something like that, I don't know why. I mean, this is movie stuff. People they talk about terrible things happen. And it's always around Christmas time or something like that, or in the holidays. And it's not just that it's Christmas; it's cold out there. Prices are skyrocketing and things like that. And it's just
utility
insane.
bills are tripled.
Yeah, I'm not going to complain about utility bills only because I'm afraid that they may be listening, because I've been pretty fortunate on the utility bill part.
Yeah, it's
But
scary.
it's just that I don't know why, and I get maybe it's because it's the end of the year or whatever. But shit like this can wait until after the first of the year. It really can't. And and Kim, I agree with you. My heart goes out to these, these workers and these families and these people who have built their livelihood on this. And, now they just get this terrible news. If there's a settlement or whatever, I mean, I think that's awesome. But to put people through this without communicating, without talking to them about that during this time of year, I just think it's
just
ridiculous.
So nerve-wracking.
We've talked about this before. I think, so I get it. If you're not making as much steel, you have to look at tightening up your operations.
Right.
But to what extent? Like, I know as a company, especially the officers of said company have to make sure that they make profit. That's the name of the game. Otherwise, you wouldn't be a company. And I don't have the numbers for U.S. Steel in front of me, but I'm sure they're quite profitable, probably in the multi-billion-dollar range. At what point in time do you stop and say, hey, you know what? Yeah, we can tighten up the operations by shipping the actual steel making processes to our other plants. And we could save, $200 million a year. That sounds really great, except you're affecting the livelihood of people and possibly even the town that your facility is in. We talk about ethics a lot in the corporate atmosphere, and that never seems to fall into it.
Ethics never plays. I don't feel that ethics ever plays a part in these big corporations where they're like, okay, we're going to cut the workforce by 10,000 people.
Yeah.
Because that's business.
Right. Because we can save $2.5 million.
Right. But a lot of these guys won't have any problem with writing golden parachute contracts and things like that, where, well, if you fire me, you still have to pay me $10 million. I don't think
I think there's a fine line. So I think that if your company's making, let's just throw an arbitrary number out there. We made $12.5 billion in bottom line profit last year. Yeah. Okay, cool. I don't want to hear you say we're closing 100 stores nationwide right after that. I don't want to hear it, because if you made bottom line, debts paid, all that stuff, $12.5 billion. And I know that I'm simplifying that. I know there's a lot behind that.
Sure.
$12.5 billion and your stock price is $100 a share or more. I don't want to hear you surplusing people and getting rid of them and shutting down facilities and stuff to save $2 million a year.
Right.
And because having worked in the corporate world pretty much my entire adult life, these plans that come to fruition whenever they get rid of these plants and stuff are just somebody's plan on paper that came down and looked really good, and now they're going to get a bonus at the end of the year because they saved $2.5 million or $2.5 million over the next X amount of years or whatever.
Yeah.
And they do not care about the 1,000 employees that this affects. They just see a number on paper. Well, if we continue to run this plant, then we don't really need it because we have the capacity of these other plants. It's not right. Not when you're making that kind of profit. Now, I understand you can't make a string of decisions that leads to the demise of your company.
Right.
But you can make good decisions and say, hey, listen, we're going to keep this here. We don't know what the steel market's going to do. We have a presidential election coming up next year. Like, we don't know how this is going to shift, and we're going to impact these folks' lives. You want your employees, every company wants their employees to be loyal to the company. Like, we want you to follow the rules and do what you should do and all that stuff. Well, stop screwing people. I am not going to be loyal to you. You know why? Because I know I'm just a number. And if it comes down to it, and I hate saying it, but bean counter in an office somewhere is like, hey, if we get rid of 60 people, then we'll, an extra couple $1 million. And that looks good on their year review that they saved a couple $1 million for the company. If that's all it takes to toss somebody to the side when they're doing their job and you're still making record profits for the year. And even if they're not record, if you're still $12.5 billion ahead, why are you closing facilities?
Right. And here's the thing. Those people that you just got rid of are partially responsible for you making that $12.5 billion a year.
Yes, they are.
We have a unique sky view, streetscape, whatever you want to call it, with the blue fire and the orange fire. And it's just iconic for me. The backdrop to all of our history.
Yep.
As random as this is, over the last weekend, when I took a random trip to Ohio, the person I was with, I looked over and I knew what was probably pollution
Mhm.
instead of clouds. But
Hanging over the
immediately
city.
I saw the blue flames
Yeah.
and the orange flames. And I was like, oh my gosh, this looks just like at home. And without skipping a beat, she said, that's the steel mill. That's Scranton, Ohio.
Mhm.
It didn't stick with me. Didn't think any more about it.
Mhm.
Come home the very following Monday, that news hit. And it was just, I know how I felt driving past. And I even said to that person, if we ever get a chance to come back to this area, I want to get closer to that mill just to see how it looks compared to
Yeah.
ours.
Yep.
You know, and then now this hit.
I
And
just think it's absolutely ridiculous. I mean,
yeah, it's just
again, I don't have their numbers in front of me,
Right.
and I'm not their accountant, but I do understand accounting, and I do understand corporate accounting. It was my job for several years,
Yeah.
and I do understand that if you can foresee something coming up that could drastically affect your business, then yeah, you have to tighten up and everything. But to me, if I were in a senior leadership position, the getting rid of the workforce would be the last thing.
Yeah, but I think
Right.
it's all in the way that it's handled also, because I was a witness to something when I worked for, and I can say their name because this is a fact that I'm saying, that when I worked for U.S. Food Service here in St. Louis, it was pretty close to right after they purchased Allen Foods over there. The HR guy, we had two HR people actually. They had the HR guy terminate, I want to say it was like 7 or 8 people right around Christmas time, early December, right around Christmas time. They had him terminate all 7 of these people. It was one of the worst things that this man has ever had to do. He was heartsick over this. Like, he did not want to do that, and I'll be damned they didn't turn and fire him.
Oh, yeah.
sure. It
That
just
like
makes,
right after they made him go through all of that, they let him go a week later, and it was just like, what kind of person does that? And it's crazy, and it's
and
kind of
the rippling effect that it's going to cause.
yeah.
I believe that I heard the number when the mayor was on KMOX radio the other day. He made a couple big points that if they do leave, he's not letting them leave without cleaning that mess up.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think he's really strong on that. He's doing everything. And I'm not speaking for him, but I have spoken to him.
Mhm.
He's doing everything he can possibly do to keep them here. It's important.
Yeah.
But if they are set on going, they're not leaving us with an EPA mess to deal with.
Well,
But, there's only like 300 people that work there now that actually are Granite City residents.
Mhm.
That's a lot. That's just a lot.
Yep.
But when I say the rippling effect, it's going to go uphill
Mhm.
as much as it's going to settle here. So many people have left our area. We've all talked about it in many different ways, that they've moved to Edwardsville, they've
Mhm.
moved to Glen Carbon, they've bought the big homes and the second vehicles and an RV and had these great paychecks coming from the steel mill. This is going to be a rippling effect.
Well, yeah, and that's another thing too. One of the things you hear from folks whenever something like this happens is, oh, well, you don't live outside your means, and we're not even talking about folks that like, hey, we're working 6 days a week and getting a ton of overtime and decided to buy a boat and
Right.
got a payment outside of their means. We're talking about people that were making decent salaries,
Absolutely.
and that was their living, and they were
their
pursuing-
careers. Let's be
Yeah.
clear. It was a lot of people's. It is
Right.
a lot of people's careers.
and they were pursuing happiness just like you do in your corporate
Right.
position.
Mhm.
And you decided to pull the rug out from under them because you could save again that $2 million a year. That and the sad thing is we see this a lot of times, and then a year or two later they ramp the operation back up again.
Mhm.
But these people's lives have been affected in between, and it's just not right to mess with people like that. And it just irks me when you see these companies that are doing just fine, and it's not like they're doing just fine because they make these strategic decisions all the time. Like when Lowe's closed 600 stores nationwide, they didn't need to. They didn't need to at all.
Right.
Their financials were just fine. They just did it because they wanted to. Like literally, like it absolutely silly. I can see, some of the things that happened in the recession of 2008. Companies did have to tighten up their budget on that because people just stopped spending like they are now.
No one was spending anything. Yeah.
Right. But we know, and it's another silly point too, especially in the steel industry, that foreign steel is not of the same quality. I've heard people say, oh, you know, they make it cheaper and you know, it's just as good. No, it's not. Yeah, I've spoken to several steel workers that, you know, have said, hey, you know, we've had scrap come in from that in the past and we've melted it and it's brittle and it just, you know, different things like that. So, I think, you know, we could buy more American, obviously. That's a tough thing to say because it's more expensive, but you're keeping it local. You're keeping people employed.
Yeah.
And you know, we've got to have things manufacturing and all that in the United States. We have to.
So,
Yeah. It's
which
definitely
brings it all
something.
back to everything. This next election, regardless of which party you're in,
Mhm.
this next election, we got to get it right.
Yeah, absolutely. It
Yeah.
absolutely has to be right. There's a lot of different strategies that need to be employed.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, a lot of those strategies aren't at the time being. So,
Oh,
Yeah.
hearts with you guys for sure.
Yeah.
And I don't want to bring us down, but I did not want to not mention that.
Yeah, no, I think that it's good because again, you know, it is, you know, the holiday season. It's something
Yeah.
that definitely affects our city and, you know, just all the cities around here in the metro. And it
Absolutely.
just, you know, it's a crappy thing that's happened. And, you
But
know,
we will survive it.
so thank you guys for joining us tonight. We appreciate you guys being out here again. You know, we always come to you 98% of the time live from here at Studio B, Studio B here in Granite City. Again, you know, kind of tie in with what Kim said, patronize the businesses around here, especially the small businesses, especially this holiday season. You know, Bill's made a good point. You know, these big corporate guys, they have, you know, bean counters that are doing all the hard work for them. But, you know, when it comes down to the small businesses that are local here, you're talking about, you know, whether it's an individual running a business or a group of businesses, or it's a family running just a small, you know, restaurant or something like that. These guys really rely on us here in the city to help support them and to help them make their mortgage payments, help them stay planted here in town. And that's any town that you're in. So whether you're here in Granite City, somewhere else here in the metro, or even in some small town in Ohio that's got a steel mill going on,
Yeah.
you know, patronize those small businesses. They would love it. They would appreciate it. And, you know, they're trying to keep their employees. They're not trying to get rid of employees. So that's very important, especially during the holiday season. Thank you guys for joining us. We will be back again next Monday at 7:15 on the 11th is what I was trying to say.
Our anniversary show.
Our anniversary show. And yeah, we'll see you guys then. Thanks a lot.